Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing my top 10 makeup purchases from 2024 so far. Obviously we're a little over halfway through the year and I've tried a lot of makeup this year, and I was originally going to do this video and just share all of the best makeup launches with you, but I started thinking about it and I decided to narrow it down to my top 10 because there's a lot of new makeup always, and a lot of it is good. A lot of the things I've tried this year, they're good products, but these are the top 10, the things that I love the absolute most and that I would recommend the most. So I hope you enjoy, and if you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into my top 10. All right, so I did keep these products to things that launched in 2024. I kind of considered including things that didn't launch this year, but that I've tried this year. But for this video, I wanted to just stick to launches from 2024. Okay, we'll start with number one. These are not ranked, so they're in no particular order. First product is the foundation that I'm wearing today, and it's Makeup Forever, the HD Skin Hydra Glow Foundation. I bought this earlier in the year. I want to say I bought it during the first Sephora sale, and absolutely love this from the first time I tried it. This is a gorgeous medium, slightly buildable coverage with a lot of hydration and a good bit of glow, but it's not shimmery. There's no pearlescence to it. It just has a lot of hydration. So that kind of gives your skin the glow. So if you have really dry skin, I bet you would like this. Even if you have combo skin, I think you would like this. If you have really oily skin, this is probably going to be a little too hydrating for your skin. But I think most skin types would enjoy this. And for me, it's a perfect amount of coverage for every day. It's more than a tinted moisturizer, but it's not, you know, a full glam type of foundation. It kind of falls right in between, but I love it. I have two shades, and today I actually mixed the two together. That's why I have two of these, because usually I don't love these on their own. I like to kind of cocktail them together. So I have shade 1 in 06, which this is primarily the shade that I used today, but I took just like not even half a pump of this, probably like a quarter of a pump of this one, which is 2N22, and mixed it together. I just wanted a little bit more color than 1N06 on its own, but these are absolutely beautiful. And the thing that stands out to me the most about this foundation is it is very long wearing. Even in the heat, I have worn this for 12 plus hours when I'm out and about all day long, and it wears so beautifully. And that's not always the case with a foundation that's this glowy and this hydrating. So I can't recommend it enough. The only thing I want to point out, it does have a scent. I wish they wouldn't have included the scent, although I will say for me, it goes away pretty quickly and it's not super strong to me. Now, I've heard some people say that it is a strong scent to them. I don't think it's strong compared to other foundations, but it does have a smell in there. So I just want to point that out. But other than that, this is an absolutely beautiful foundation and definitely worthy of my top. All right, number 2 is a color corrector. We have, I believe, tried 3 different color correctors so far this year that were new launches, but the one I put in the video is this one from Caliray. This is the Hideaway Brightening and Hydrating Under Eye Serum Concealer Corrector. They call it a concealer. It's an under eye corrector. Now, if you've been watching my content for the last few weeks, I did just recently try the Tarte Creaseless Creamy Corrector, and I had trouble picking between these two because the formulas are pretty identical, truly. The reason I went with the Caliray is because the formula is just as good as the Tarte. The packaging is nice. This is a glass bottle. This is a really nice component for this price point, and I want to say it's about the same price, if not a little bit less than the Tarte. And this one has a better shade range. I believe this one comes in like 8 or 9 shades. The Tarte one only comes in 5. And I think one of the shades is a green, which is more for like redness in the skin. This comes in 8 or 9 true color correcting shades, which we don't usually see in a new corrector launch. So I was so excited about this formula. And not only is the price great, the component nice, this is a beautiful corrector. It is so thin on the under eyes, which I love. It's very hydrating and it provides a decent amount of coverage for how thin and creamy the formula is. It is absolutely beautiful. Every time I use this, I love how concealer layers over the top. Because it is so thin, you don't have to worry about going in with concealer and it getting gunky or just too heavy and thick looking under the eyes. I was so impressed with this product. Honestly, I didn't have super high hopes for it just because, I don't know, when I think of Caliray, I don't really think of them as a brand that would release this fantastic color corrector, but this is absolutely one of the best launches of the year, in my opinion. I highly recommend it. I do use the shade Cool Sunrise, which you'll see in the demo is just a little bit darker than my skin tone, but it's about the same depth of darkness as my discoloration under my eyes. So it works really well for me. If you're looking for a new one, I highly recommend this one from Caliray. Number 3 was possibly the easiest choice of all of these products. This is one of the first things that came to my mind when I sat down to plan for this video. And it won't surprise you if you've been watching my videos. The Makeup by Mario SoftSculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serums. These are fantastic. I can't say enough good things about them. I have 2 shades. I have light and light medium. Today I'm wearing light and I like everything about this product. There's so many things that I love. First of all, I love that you get a pump and you get the doe foot applicator, so you can apply this from the back of your hand or a palette if you want, or you can just unscrew it and draw it on your face with the doe foot applicator. I'm kind of shocked no one's done this before, and if maybe they have and I just don't know about it, but this is a brilliant component in my opinion. And not only is the component amazing, the product is amazing too. This is the most watery, sheer, liquid bronze type of product that I've ever used by far. And it's foolproof. It is foolproof. You cannot mess this up because it's so sheer and blendable. I mean, it blends with little to no effort, and I'm not exaggerating. I would say this is the same blendability as the Skin Enhancer from Mario, which is another one of my favorite products. The difference between the two is this one sets down. This one doesn't have that oily kind of balmy texture that the Skin Enhancer has. This one is hydrating and kind of watery, but once you blend it in, it sets down on your skin. Whereas the Skin Enhancer does stay a little bit balmy. So for oily skin, I would recommend this. For a drier skin type, I would probably recommend the Skin Enhancer, but I just love this. I can't tell you how many times I've used this since this product was released. I've traveled with it. I also love taking a little bit of this with the pump and mixing it in with a foundation or a tinted moisturizer that's a little bit light. You can add just a little bit of a bronze tint with the pump. You can also mix this in with your moisturizer if you want to give your skin some glow before you go in with makeup. It's just so genius. This is a fabulous product. I can't recommend this enough. If you like a more natural looking makeup, if you like full glam, very intense and opaque products, this is not going to be for you. This is going to be for more of a no makeup or a very natural makeup type of look. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, love these from Makeup by Mario. Number 4, sticking with Makeup by Mario, has to be the Master Mattes, the Neutrals palette. This, oh my gosh, this is the perfect all matte palette if you like more neutral shadows, leaning slightly cooler in tone. The original Master Matte is much warmer, it has a lot of yellow and red undertones. This one is much more of a neutral, beigey, slightly cool undertone, but I would call it more neutral. But truly, this is just a perfect everyday palette if you are wanting just a palette you can do anything that you want with. You can use just these very light shades in the top here, which is what I did today. I basically used this top row for my eyes and, you know, get a very soft everyday look. Or you can use these deeper shades and get a smokier look. You can use the dark brown or the black right here as liner, like a shadow liner, which I love doing. I love the color story, but what I love the most about this is his matte formula, in my opinion, is one of the most user-friendly matte formulas. They are not crazy intensely pigmented, but they're very buildable. So if you want more pigment, you can go in and add more. If you want less, you can get a very sheer application as well, which is personally what I like in an eyeshadow formula, especially just like an everyday type of palette. The quality is amazing. I would recommend this to anyone. I would also recommend the Master Mattes palette if the warmer tones would work better for your skin tone. That palette is great as well. But these are, the shadows in here are fabulous. They remind me a lot of the matte shadows in his Ethereal Eyes palette, which I personally loved. They are, like I said, not the most intensely pigmented eyeshadows, but for that reason, they're very approachable and very blendable. So you don't have to worry about going in with a lot of shadow and not being able to blend it out if you want to. I love this palette so much. Number 5 is my favorite powder of the year by far, and it's this from Makeup Forever. This is the HD Skin Loose Setting Powder. I did see on the Makeup Forever Instagram, because I went through and made sure that these products were all new launches from this year, and I saw in one of their posts that apparently this did launch with this foundation earlier in the year, but I think most of their promos were for the foundation and not really for the powder. So I didn't learn about this until a little bit later in the year, but this powder is perfect. This is my favorite loose setting powder by far right now. I use the shade Corrective Rose. So this is one of their, what they consider a color correcting powder, but they also have just skin tone shades if you don't want one of the correcting shades. But Corrective Rose is a really nice pinky beigey undertone. So it's not too pink and it's not too bright or anything like that. Sometimes those really pink powders or the really light powders can look, I don't know, just very unnatural to me. This one does not, but this does literally everything that I want it to. Also, it comes with a little puff, but you get a ton of powder in here. It has a sifter that looks like this, so you can close it off if you travel or just to keep a ton of powder from coming up in the lid. It sets the makeup, it blurs, it smooths the pores, but it doesn't look heavy, it doesn't look cakey, and it doesn't matter if I use a brush with it or a powder puff. It just looks perfect. It does exactly what I want a powder to do for my skin. And I even like this under my eyes, which I don't love a ton of powders under my eyes. I'm very picky about powders over concealer. I find a lot of them just don't look great under my eyes. And some of them I like on my face, but I just don't like them under the eyes. This one I like everywhere, which is just a bonus because I don't mind using 2 different powders, but ideally I would like to use one that I like for my whole face. I did want to say that if you want this powder in this shade, for whatever reason, Corrective Rose, you can only purchase on the Makeup Forever website. I don't know why. Sephora has the powder, but they don't have the correcting shades for some reason. I don't know why, but this is just perfect. Okay, let's talk about blushes. So number 6, goes to these from Haus Labs. These are the, I always forget the name, the Color Fuse Glassy Blush Balms, and that is exactly how I would describe them. They are very creamy, very balmy, very glowy, like to the point that they do look glassy on your skin. So you have to want that really kind of slick, wet look on your face, because that's what these give you. These are very, very glowy and hydrating, but I just love them. I absolutely love both colors that I have, and I have them both on today. So I have Glassy Hibiscus and Glassy Pomelo. Hibiscus is more of like a rosy mauve, and then Pomelo is more of a peach, or has a little bit of a pink tone too, so I would say like a peachy pink. But usually when I wear them, I wear both, and I use Glassy Hibiscus kind of on like the outer portion of my cheek, and then I'll put just a little bit of Glassy Pomelo like towards the apple. But just if you want that glowy, glassy skin look in a blush, this is that. This is for you. They're not going to be for everyone, so if you don't love that look, if you have really oily skin, you're not going to love these most likely. If you have dry skin, or maybe you do have oily skin and you like a glow, anybody that likes that glossy look will love these. And bonus, they also look beautiful on your lips if you like that type of product on your lips too. Today I did use a little bit of Glassy Hibiscus with my lip liner and lip gloss, and this color is so beautiful. Honestly, they're both really pretty on your lips too. So these are perfect, but you have to like this type of product. They do stay a little bit tacky on your skin, so you have to be okay with that. And you know, if it's really windy, that's not always the most ideal type of blush, but if you have your hair like slicked back like I do today, that doesn't really bother me. But I did want to point that out, but I love these so much. Number 7 is also a blush formula, and I have these on top of the Haus Labs today. I had to give it to Kosas. These Blush is Life baked blushes. I was very excited for this launch, and you know, sometimes when you get really excited for a launch, the excitement is not always continued once you try the product. But actually with these, I wanted them to be really good, and they were as good as I was hoping that they're going to be. These to me are the perfect amount of pigment and radiance in a powder formula. Sometimes I feel like we get overly pigmented blushes that are kind of hard to work with, or you get something that's really sheer and glowy and pretty, but you don't get enough color. This you get just the right amount, in my opinion. I have 3 of them. These are the 2 that I have on today. So I have Blissed, which is a peachy pink, and then Dreamland, which is more of a bronze. I used a little bit of both of these today. And what I also wanted to point out is these 2 colors, for whatever reason, mix beautifully with these 2 from Haus Labs. Now, I'm not telling you you need to go out and buy 4 blushes, but I just happened to buy these 4 shades, and the tones are so similar in the 2 different formulas, so they pair really well together. But even on their own, these Kosas blushes I love, because they still give me that kind of glowy radiance that I like in a blush, but they're not, you know, obviously they're not glossy like these. So they're kind of the best of both worlds. If you maybe don't want something cream or glossy like that, but you still want a little bit of radiance or glow in your blush, these from Kosas are beautiful. I also have one more shade I didn't bring out here, but I will swatch them and include them here so you can see. The other shade that I have is Euphoria, and Euphoria is more of a rosy mauve color, which I also like, and actually that one also pairs really well with Glassy Hibiscus. Honestly, I think this is kind of a better and more updated formula to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting blushes. So if you like those, these remind me the most of those with just a little bit more color. I think they're fabulous and very, very worthy of being in the top. Number 8 is something I'm actually kind of surprised is making it in this video, because when I bought this, I didn't think I was gonna love it as much as I do. And it's this palette from Natasha Denona. This is the Hyper Natural Face Palette. This came out earlier in the year, and basically this was supposed to be like an all-in-one natural kind of makeup palette. And I went back and forth on this. I couldn't decide if I needed it or not. I finally decided to get it, and I absolutely love this. This, first of all, she has all different or all new formulas in here. So these eyeshadows were a different formula, and the powder, bronzer, and blush in here were a different formula, but they are so creamy and just very smooth. Right now I'm really referring to the blush and the bronzer. The eyeshadows are creamy as well. They're kind of like a cream to powder feeling shadow, and all of these in the palette are basically like perfect one and done shadows, or you can obviously mix them, but basically you have 5 different one and done shadows for whatever type of makeup look you're going for. And the blush and the bronzer, as long as they work for your skin tone, that's the one critique I have on this, is obviously this palette was made to be universal. I don't think you could say that this is universal. I wish maybe at some point they would release a second one with deeper bronzer and blush, but if this does work for your skin tone, these powders, they're very different. They're like a velvety, kind of silky feeling formula, and I love them. I don't have a ton of this palette on my face today, mainly because the shadows in here are all glowy or more metallic looking, and I wanted to keep my eyes more matte today. So I don't have the shadows on. I do have a little bit of the bronzer on over the Makeup by Mario bronzing serum, but this is just a beautiful palette. If you want like a one and done, easy, you don't want to take a bunch of makeup with you type of palette, this is a great one if it works for your skin tone. Another thing I really like is these bronzer shades, especially these two, the lighter one and the medium toned one. They're a perfect matte transition shade for me in my crease. So I can put a little bit of these in my crease, one of these on my lid, and I'm done with eyeshadow. I can use this for bronzer, I can use it for blush. For the type of makeup that I wear and I like, this is an ideal type of face palette. And I am someone that loves face palettes. I always fall for buying them. I don't always use them though. In fact, I usually don't use them. This is one of the only face palettes I have purchased and continued to reach for over and over, which is saying a lot, but I think this is so innovative and I just loved it. So this had to be included in my top 10. And my last 2 products are both from Maybelline. Number 9 is this product. This is the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. Now I bought this a little after it had been released, and I bought it just kind of out of curiosity. I was seeing a lot of people that I watch regularly talk about this product, and I bought it just kind of on a whim, just out of curiosity. I am not typically a brow pen type of person. I've tried a lot of them. I've tried the NYX brow pen, I've tried the Glossy brow pen, and they're usually just too pigmented and just too hard to work with unless you're someone that's just really good and very skilled at makeup and brows. I just find that they're usually pretty hard to use until this. This is the most just almost like a sheer type of formula. Do you see that? Do you see how sheer the pigment is? But that's what you want with this type of product, especially if you are scared of brow pens or you're just not as skilled with this type of product. You can use this, I promise. This is I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a brow pen with sheer pigment like this. So you can use the little applicator to get really precise brow hair strokes, but the pigment is like significantly more sheer than a typical product like this. So it's perfect. I love it so much. This is what I use to do my brows today. And if you like that kind of natural, fluffy eyebrow look, this is a great product for that. And a bonus, two bonuses actually. It comes on the other side with a brow gel to set your brows in place. And I've been using this, and actually it's a very good brow gel. It does keep your brows in place all day long. Now this is not going to laminate your brows, so if you're looking for that really slick, fluffy, laminated look, this is not going to do that. But this is a good brow gel to just set them in place. And the other thing that I love about this is because the tip of it is so tiny and fine, it makes filling in the brows easier. But I have been using this for eyeliner. This is what I used today to do my wing. And it's perfect for that because it's so small. I always find with liquid liner pens, if you have hooded eyes or small eyes, if you use a liner that has a really large, like longer felt tip, it's too hard. It's very hard to do a wing with hooded eyes or smaller eyes. This one is much easier because it's so much smaller. And it's not as pigmented, so it's also a little bit more user-friendly if you struggle with wings, like I think we all do, myself included. So this has just been a really surprising product for me, but I think this is fantastic. Highly recommend this from Maybelline. And number 10 is also from Maybelline, and this is another product that I bought. I didn't have super high hopes for them, but let me tell you, this is my favorite lip launch of this whole year. This is the only lip product I have in this top 10. These lip lifter liners from Maybelline, this is the best drugstore lip liner. I'm just gonna say it. Of all of the drugstore lip liners, I think these are the best that I've tried, truly. I have 4 of them now, and I think I bought 3 initially, and then I bought a 4th one, but these are everything I want in a lip liner. They are creamy, but not too creamy. They will stay in place and last on your lips. And they have so many gorgeous shades. Today I have 2 of the shades on just because I like to apply multiple lip liners. So today I use the shade Line Leader kind of all over my lip. This one is more of like a pinky nude. It's very similar to Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, the lipstick. I use this all over, and then I take the shade On It, which is more of like a medium neutral brown, and I applied that on the bottom here, like kind of where my lip is the fullest, and then I applied a little bit of it right here on my Cupid's bow and kind of blended it in with the Line Leader shade. And that's the lip liner combo that I have today, but these are perfect. They're affordable, they're creamy, not too creamy, they don't migrate. And actually I have those 2 lip liners on. I have a little bit of Glassy Hibiscus from Haus Labs, like I said, and then on top, this is not included in the video, but I'll just tell you what I have on top because I love this lip combo. I also used a Maybelline gloss. This is the shade Moon, and it's a perfect kind of shimmery pink. I put that over the top. And that is my lip combo for today. And those were my top 10 makeup launches and purchases from 2024 so far. Not the only products that I've tried, and I like more products than this that I've tried this year, but if I had to narrow it down and share my top favorites with you, these would be my top 10. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will have all the products and shades that I use listed in the description box and linked in YouTube shopping up on the screen for you as well. If you do shop through my links, I do make a commission that supports my channel. And if you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to click the thumbs up button. It really does help my channel. And in the comments, leave some of your top products that maybe you've tried this year. They don't have to be new launches, just products that you've tried from the year that would be top favorites for you. Leave them in the comments. Before you leave, make sure that you're subscribed and that you're following me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.